Hello, and welcome to my channel, The Entrepreneurial Mindset. And today I'm going to introduce you to a concept that I've developed over my teaching career called the Influential Intelligence. This is an 8-module course, basically to encourage you to look at your career as kind of like your own business. So in other words, looking at your employer as a client, because you're not going to have one employer for a 40, 50-year career. You're going to have numerous employers. So what I would encourage you to think of your career again as kind of like your business, where you are kind of like an entrepreneur managing your career success, and that every employer that you have either now or in the future, that they are treated as clients. So that's how I came up with this concept called influential intelligence. In other words, this module course is designed to teach you how to be more influential at work. Again, my name is Jay Berman. I am the content creator for the Entrepreneurial Mindset. I am also the author of the Manual of Essential Business Concepts, which is available on Amazon.com, either as a paperback version, hardback version, or Kindle version. So here in Module 1, we're going to talk about your career objective. So in other words, how can you best serve your employer? Are you going to be on the revenue side or the expense side? And also going to talk about the Holland Vocational type, and why it's important to have an entrepreneurial mindset when it comes to your career. So on your resume, this is what should be your objective. In other words, you are seeking a position and work environment in which your talents, your knowledge, your skills, education, creativity can thrive, again, to best serve your employer. So every business, even if it's a nonprofit, they're going to have revenues, they're going to have expenses, and hopefully the revenues are greater than expenses if it's a for-profit company, or it could be a nonprofit. So even a nonprofit has to have revenues. You call them donations, but they also have expenses, just like any other for-profit business. And again, you want to always think in the back of your mind, how can you best serve your employer? Are you going to be on the revenue side, or are you going to be on the expense side? Now, the challenge, if you are an entrepreneur, starting your own business, or you're self-employed, is that you're actually working both sides. You're working both the revenue and the expense side. But generally, when you work for somebody else, you're on one side or the other, either the revenue side or the expense side. So what do I mean by the revenue side? So probably the biggest opportunities, of course, would be marketing. So for example, marketing research and planning, sales and sales management, advertising promotion, social media, e-commerce, account management, relationship management, product or brand management, retail or wholesale management, customer service and support, or perhaps new product or service design. These all fall under revenue opportunities, the revenue side of a company. Then you have the expense side opportunities. Perhaps you are inclined to work in human resources. So in terms of human resources, are quite a large, there are many opportunities. There's recruitment, there's selection, there's retention, there's training, there's employee relations, There's an administrative side to human resources, such as payroll and onboarding. Um, Other expense sides is operations. So you could be working in manufacturing, logistics. Logistics involves delivery of goods and services, warehousing, storing of goods, and of course, transportation. Things like trucks and those vehicles. Perhaps you are eager to work for vendor and supply chain management. There's also channel management. In other words, where your product and services can be distributed, research and development of new products and new services, purchasing and procurement. Perhaps you want to be a purchasing agent, information technology, IT, law and regulatory compliance, health and safety compliance, risk and insurance, and of course, finance and money or cash management. So another way to look at your career is what we call a vocational type. And in this case, it's called the Holland Vocational Type, named after Dr. John Holland. He was a psychologist who developed these vocational types. He developed 6 of them. The first one would be realistic. These are your doers. Investigative, these are your thinkers. Your artistic, these are your creators. The social, these are your helpers. Enterprising, these are your persuaders. And then there's the conventional, which are your organizers. And I'll discuss each one separately and why they're unique. So the first one is the Holland Vocational Type Realistic. These people are what we call action-oriented. They like physical activity. They like working with their hands. These are your mechanical, your mechanics, your engineers. They like to tinker with devices. They like to make or build or repair or grow things. These are your sample careers. Engineering, either civil, electrical, mechanical, automotive. So your auto mechanics, aviation, the ones who repair or maintain airplanes. There's carpentry, construction, restoration, manufacturing, farming, gardening, landscaping, plumbing, even physical training. The next Holland vocational type is investigative. This are people who enjoy scientific and abstract thinking. They like to research and discover new theories. They like to analyze and connect vast amounts of knowledge. They usually have or are eager to pursue highly advanced degrees, your MDs, your PhDs. Sample careers would be academia, any kind of research, science, mathematics, medicine, pharmaceuticals, discovering new drugs, new new medicines, chemistry, physics, forensics, economics. The next one are your artistic type people, creative communication or expression. They like to design, write, compose, paint, perform. So sample careers, again, would be your writers, your musical composers, musicians, any kind of artists, photographers, actors, filmmakers, journalists, theater directors, fashion or interior designers, your architects, game designers, website designers, software developers, animation, and now, of course, artificial intelligence. The next Holland vocational type is your social. So these are the people who like to help other people, learn, grow, develop themselves. They like to help people heal, so either physical healing or mental healing. They also like to solve problems, settle disputes. Sample careers would be like education, teaching people new skills, certainly social work, law, arbitration, mediation, nursing, medicine, psychology, counseling, advisory, consulting, therapy, even hospitality. Then you have your enterprising Holland vocational type. These are the people who like to make things happen in significant or different ways. They enjoy leading and managing organizations. These are your salespeople. They are the people who like to persuade other people to buy goods and services. They're very good at negotiating. They enjoy making deals. Sample careers, again, entrepreneurship, people who desire to run their own businesses, people in sales, investment banking, real estate sales, leadership training, and corporate strategy. And then the next Holland vocational type is what he calls, Dr. Holland had called conventional. These are the people who like structure. They like discipline. They like consistency, predictability, certainty. These are the people who enjoy working in, maybe a large company that has a very large bureaucracy, the government, military, those type of organizations. They like to be well organized. They like everything to have its place. They have a particular penchant for adhering to laws, to standards, to rules, to instructions, regulations, protocols. They like to calculate and store accurate information. They like to maintain machinery and equipment. So sample careers would be any kind of administrative position, again, working the bureaucracy of maybe a large company. Banking would be an ideal situation because there's a lot of rules, regulations in terms of banking. Accounting, government, military, quality control, safety compliance, law enforcement, information technology, logistics, purchasing and procurement, database management, building maintenance, making sure buildings are safe. So here is the link to determine your Holland vocational type. You can take this test for free. All you have to do is copy and paste this link into your browser. I'll also have this link in the description of this video. And just you are aware, I do not get compensated if you take the test I have no connection to this company where you can take the test for free. I don't get compensated in any way, shape, or form recommending this particular test. And of course, this is not the only company that provides the test. I'm sure if you type in Holland Vocational Test, there are probably other companies that are giving the test away for free. Just be aware that they, of course, are probably looking to sell services to you. I, again, am not affiliated with any company that provides this particular career test. And again, it's called the Holland Vocational Test. Okay. And that's all I have for today. Any questions about this video? Please contact me in the comments section below, and have a great day. Be good.